There was 88 people in my IMAX screening tonight for Terminator. And there were certain scenes that popped up that were in the trailer and people just started clapping to. I didn't realize there were so many damn Terminator fans so excited for this movie to clap. Like, I understand Marvel movies, like certain scenes you want to clap. Like, when Cap got that hammer, I was like... But when Sarah Connor pops up, woo! I was like, okay. Terminator Dark Fate. This is the 6th movie in the Terminator franchise. But since they're pulling a Halloween, technically this is the 3rd film in the franchise. So Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis are gone. They don't matter. This movie is a sequel to Terminator 2 Judgment Day 1991. This is a sequel. This is it. This is the 3rd movie. That got me intrigued. When they announced this movie, I was like, okay. I was like, another Terminator. Then they're like, this is a 3rd movie. I was like, alright. You got Sarah Connor coming back. You got Arnold coming back. You got Tim Miller directing. I was like, you got me. Let's do this. You got Linda Hamilton. You got Arnold. Let's do this. Give me a good movie. Tim Miller. This is going to be awesome. Hopefully. So this movie takes place actually in today's current time. And basically this girl is it's like Terminator 1. Sarah Connor is trying to protect this girl who needs to be alive for the future, and this other girl who came from the future needs to protect her, and Arnold's there, and this robot with like CGI skeleton comes out of him, and they're trying to attack him. It's your Terminator movie. People come from the future to the past to protect a girl. There's our movie. That's the plot of this movie. It sounds very familiar. Terminator. Let's just get right into it. First things first, Tim Miller, no matter what people say with this movie, he knows how to do big action scenes, and I can tell he is a fan of the Terminator franchise. He made big, bold action scenes, and I gotta give it to him. These action scenes were fun to watch. I was entertained. I can't lie. I mean, there's an awesome car chase scene right at the start, the very beginning. All the fight scenes felt like you felt the punch. There was great explosion scenes. There's some scenes you're like, that person should have been dead, that person should have a broken arm, blah, blah, blah. But it was so enjoyable. Like, I just like watching that stuff. Like when Transformers comes out, movies suck, but you like watching because it's just cool to see. This movie felt more comfortable. I'm not saying this is Transformers, no, but I am saying the action scenes were well filmed and Tim Miller did a really good job. And you can tell he is a fan of this series because he does perfect editing with the music notes, using original music, beats of the movie. I love how this movie starts, like the intro, how the movie starts with studios and everything. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. You can tell he is a fan of Terminator, and I gotta give it to him. He was the best thing of this movie. He made this movie more enthralling than it was, which we will get into. Linda Hamilton is back as Sarah Connor. She was so great to be back. Like, I mean, the last 3 movies without her in it, all those movies are bleh, but with her back, it felt so good. Like, it felt so great to see Linda Hamilton back in this role. And the new girl, I know she's from *Halt and Catch Fire*. I have said her name before in reviews, but I cannot get her name right now because my phone is over there. But she is the new human cyborg in the movie who's trying to protect this girl. She was badass. I loved her. I loved her sarcasm. I loved her character. I loved her. She was a great new character. And the main girl they're trying to protect, Danny is her name in the movie, I really liked her. She was a good, newish Sarah Connor they're trying to bring into this world. I like what they did with her. And I really like how we have 3 female leads in this movie. I mean, that's just awesome to see. You got an older woman, a younger woman, and a 28-year-old woman, and then you got Arnold, which we will get to in a minute. But those 3 women are all badass. They all were the best parts of this movie, acting-wise and physicality. Action scenes, like I said, were enjoyable. Then, now let's get into the negatives. First things first, I do not want to really talk about the villain, because to me, he was so just Terminator 2. He was such he was such like, hey, we want you to be exactly like Terminator 2. Oh, and Terminator 3 with the girl. Like, his role, he was fine, but it just felt, it didn't feel different. It didn't feel like it changed any villains from the past Terminator 1 and 2 or Terminator 3. It just felt so different. I was like, just be different. Be creative. Make a new character. Yes, his abilities were cool looking and all that kind of stuff, but man, it felt like we've seen this villain before. Like, give us something new. Like, come on. So, he was fine, but I just feel like they could have done so much more different with the character. But, of course. Now, Arnold, I'm not saying Arnold's bad. What they do with his character, because a lot of people are asking, how is he alive? He has to be a new Terminator, because obviously in Terminator 2, that version of him died. So what is this movie? I will not spoil what he is, what he's doing there, how is he a Terminator, and what is going on. But I will say he felt so tacked on. Like, to me, he really felt like it's a Terminator movie. We have to have Arnold. Here's Arnold. That's what it felt like. And there is one thing they do, and again, no spoilers. Opening scene of this movie, there's a decision they make. And when it happened, I was like, what? And this is the reason why Arnold's in the movie. And I'm like, but why? Why did you do that? Again, I don't want to rant on it, but I really do. And I don't want to spoil it, but I really can't. So I'm just going to compare it to another movie. And if you get this reference, you get the reference. But if you don't, I'm sorry. Alien 3 is what this opening scene reminds me of. That's all I'm going to say. And it made me like, okay, maybe it'll go to something. It led to nothing. And I was like, you didn't have to do that. And you just fadoodled the entire timeline. And they try to make it come back into the movie and give it more, like, sadness and more character building towards certain character. And I was like, but did you really have to do that? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it, but it is a decision they made, not me. And at the very end of this movie, it is definitely a movie that ends with like, hey, sequel. I mean, I will say I won't mind seeing a sequel. This movie did enough to me. I was entertained. It was nowhere near as bad as I thought I was going into. I was entertained. I wouldn't even say this movie was a bad movie. I would say it was a good Terminator movie. Tim Miller, you could tell he's a fan. I love seeing Linda Hamilton. I like seeing Arnold. I like the new characters. I really enjoyed a lot of this movie. Just certain decisions they made pissed me off, kind of. And I'm really conflicted about it. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that right there? I was like, okay, not what I expected, but you know, maybe it'll turn out to be something cool. I was like, it didn't turn out to be cool. It just felt like a little tack on, like, here you go, audience. Meh. I'm gonna give Terminator Dark Fate a C+. If you're a Terminator fan, go and see it, because I'm gonna say what every other review is gonna say. It's the best Terminator since Terminator 2. Without a doubt. It's better than Salvation. It's way better than Genesis. It's better than Rise of the Machines. And I'm so glad it was rated R. Thank God for the R rating returning to us. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. But if they made a second one, I would be like, alright, I'm intrigued at what they're gonna do next. But if they ended it here, I would be fine with it too. I'm just glad they didn't like completely tarnish certain things. But they did tarnish something that I can't spoil. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everyone.